everybody. Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. We are really excited today to bring you a special Hall Stretch. This is our second time having on the podcast from The Good Witch. We are starting this next weekend. From The Good Witch, we have Kylee Evans here who plays Stephanie. And Kylee, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me. Hey, everybody.
Yeah. So first, we have to talk about this crazy time of quarantine. How are you doing? How are you keeping yourself sane during all of this crazy time?
Well, sane, I don't know. I'm just in the same boat as everyone else. It's crazy time. And, I think I was having a really hard time with it at the beginning. And, you think you're never going to get out of the house again. You're never going to see your friends again. When are you going to go back to work? And will you go back to work? And I sort of said to my husband last night, I kind of am getting too used to this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting really comfortable. So I'm really nervous for when the world opens back up. What's going to happen to my motivation levels? I don't know.
I think it's human nature to try to acclimate. But yeah, it has been harder for me than I thought it would be because I already work from home. So I thought, it'll be easy. Right. But it hasn't been easy. I definitely missed my friends. I mean, that's probably the hardest thing is I haven't seen. And there are a couple friends that, like one of my friends, I had the chance to go swimming with her like a week or two before everything got locked down, and we were like, oh, we're tired, we don't feel like whatever. We had some excuse, didn't do it, and we're just so regret not doing it. Like that's definitely a lesson from all of this, is to take advantage, not assume there'll be it tomorrow, to do something like that with a friend.
Yeah, that's really true. To take every opportunity to be with people that you love.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find, I'm quarantined or social distancing in a house with a backyard and like a super funny, awesome husband. So I'm really lucky.
Yeah.
And I think about, my single friends or people in condos or in high rises that just like, a friend of mine said yesterday she hadn't been out of the house in 12 days.
Oh my gosh.
So, you have to put it all into perspective, really.
Yeah. I've been pretty isolated, but luckily there's one of the local movie theaters in town has a lot of space around it, and they set up this whole drive-in movie theater all around it. It's really great, and you're not allowed to get out of your car unless you have to go to the bathroom, and that's basically discouraged. And so like it's very, 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 very safe because I have to be really careful right now. So you literally just in your car the whole time. And so last night I got to watch Back to the Future at the drive-in, and I was just like, oh, yes.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That's a really cool thing. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really, really neat. But have you done any like quarantine cooking? Are you baking? I know a lot of people are baking these days.
Yeah, so it's funny, since Stephanie owns the bistro, she's such a great baker of cakes, but I am not a baker. I did, however, I am a great cook, and I started out like gangbusters, like cooking all the time. And then I realized, we had 4 dishwasher loads of dishes all the time. I was like, this has to stop.
Yeah.
So we've calmed down on that front, but my husband has started to make juice. Like he loves making juice. And I was so upset with all of the leftover juice pulp that I did decide to start making juice pulp muffins, and I'm getting real good.
That sounds yummy.
So that's what I've discovered in quarantine.
There we go. That sounds yummy. That actually sounds pretty healthy.
Yeah, they're so healthy, and then there's no waste, and yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, very good. I actually made bread, which I was very excited about.
Oh wow, sourdough? Did you jump on the sourdough?
Just regular.
Okay.
Just regular bread, regular white bread, but I'm usually not a very patient person. So like bread and anything has to rise and rise and rise, rise. I'm like, no. But I got all the time in the world, so why not?
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, all right, well, let's dive in. Okay. So how did you feel about season 5, particularly for Stephanie and her character?
Well, it's
going back.
That's really going back a long way. And I just heard season 5 is on Netflix.
Yeah, I was just added, huh?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so I think season 5 is when the introduction of Adam comes in. Yeah. And right. I sort of have the struggle with him and
Vincent.
It was a different season. I think, Stephanie started out, she was always looking for love and she was always looking for a man. And then all of a sudden in season 4, I feel like I kind of came into my own and I was okay on my own. And then this happened. So then again, it's like this struggle of what man is going to like help Stephanie.
Yeah. I mean, we're still very upset about losing Ben. Forever to be upset.
Everyone loved Ben, and it's so funny because now there's like Team Ben, Team Vincent, Team Adam, and I get so many emails all the time.
Really? Because we feel like we're like the lone holders of the Team Vincent. Like we were big fans of Vincent last season. But I at least will always be top level would be Ben. I mean, the man restored a historic theater. Like, what else could you want?
I'm sensing it in here. You went to the drive-in last night.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I'm a film critic. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Ben was a great character, and I really felt like we had such a great chemistry as well. So it was sad to lose him, and with everything in Middleton, like everything's always changing and evolving, and there's always so many new characters coming to town, and that's tough for fans. It's tough to lose someone that you love and have had like invested in, and then have to get used to someone new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know it is, and so we
I have to get used to them too. Like it's,
Well, we liked Team Vincent, and we were frustrated because we liked Vincent because we were frustrated. We didn't feel like the show really gave him a proper shot. Like you never really even went on I don't think you ever really even went on a date. And he was such a nice person, and we felt like he was very supportive. And an interesting, I liked the link back to Cassie. I think that could have been, there was like story that you could have told more with that.
Yeah.
And so when all of a sudden he's going off to the boat and leaving, we're like, no,
where are you going?
Yeah, you had such a good character. Why did you do that?
I know. I think, a lot of people felt like he was very mysterious and and he had a secret, and so that was one aspect of him. And then there was the other side of the coin where people loved him because he felt like family, because he was Cassie's family, and I know, and it's tough because I mean, as you all know, I get no say.
Right.
I just get a script one day and it says, this is going to be your new man. And I'm like, cool.
Yeah. No, we know. But one thing that we got a lot of mileage on the podcast last year on was the inability of Adam to make a proper sandwich. It seemed like every single sandwich he made was like, what is going on? And particularly the Monte Cristo sandwich, because have you ever had a Monte Cristo sandwich?
Yes. And in fact, on the show, I had to eat several.
Because it's not just a grilled cheese.
No.
It's actually fried. And so it's like a combination of a sandwich and a donut. And then they always have, like, there's a raspberry jam dipping sauce. and usually they put powdered sugar on it. At least every Monte Cristo I've ever had is at Disneyland. So that's what I
happiest sandwich on earth.
I mean, so that's what New Orleans Square in Disneyland, they make Monte Cristos, and it's like a fried, like I said, it's kind of like a donut.
Right.
So we got a lot of laughs that are like, it's not just a grilled cheese. What is going on here?
I know. Well, I always liken it to, my mom used to make them, which I'm sure were not authentic Monte Cristos, but her take on them, I always thought it was almost like a French toast on the outside.
Mm-hmm. That's closer.
Yeah.
We're like, what is Adam making? This is not a Monte Cristo. Yeah, we were like, and then he ordered his BLT had like bacon on the side or something. We're like, what is wrong with you? The BLT has like 4 ingredients, 5 if you include the bread. The bread, mayo, bacon, tomato, lettuce. That's it. It's a perfect food. Very simple.
Yeah, it's like the BLT, hold the LT.
Yeah, he's like, put it all on the side. And we're like, what? So we were laughing.
So
and
food choices, essentially.
Yeah.
That you don't like Adam because of his food choices.
Yeah, I mean, it really brought him down a peg. I mean, let's be real.
I'm gonna have to talk to him.
Like, talk to the writers and be like, you need to give him sensible sandwich choices, especially if he's gonna be writing. He's gonna be on a food truck.
Yeah, his fans are dwindling fast.
But I don't know. What would you say is like the perfect sandwich in your eyes?
Oh man. Well, it's funny you mentioned the BLT because I think it's ultimately my favorite sandwich. I love a good BLT. But I like my BLT lightly toasted, but I like to put a little Dijon on there with the but I also love a good turkey dressing cranberry sandwich, like after Christmas or after Thanksgiving, and just keep on all the leftovers. That's pretty ultimate.
Yeah, the post-Thanksgiving sandwich is pretty delicious.
Yeah, exactly.
Agree with you there. Get a little stuffing, cranberry sauce.
Oh, so good. And is your ultimate the Monte Cristo at Disneyland?
Maybe. Well, both because it's delicious and I would be at Disneyland.
Right.
Which especially right now, it's like, oh, Disneyland. I miss it. Because it's gone. And there was a thing on Twitter that made me laugh where the guy said, I wasn't planning on giving up so much for Lent. You know, I'm like, it's true. It's all been taken away.
Yeah. Essentially, I gave up everything.
Yeah.
The ultimate sacrifices.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. What's it like doing all those, like where you're cooking stuff and those kind of scenes in the show? I mean, I'm sure the food is gross by then, but like dealing with that all, what's that like?
So I enjoy the cooking aspect, and I also really love when I'm given something like that to do in a big scene that has a lot of lines. I love it because it really it drives the scene. It drives me, and it makes me forget about lines and motivation and all of that, and just gives me like tasks. Mm-hmm. So I love that. And the food, sometimes it's tough, but most times it's pretty amazing. So on set, we have like our food preparers are phenomenal. And I'll get emails and phone calls weeks in advance to say, there's going to be this sandwich coming up, and I can't really tell you a ton about it because the script isn't written yet, but I just know that you're going to have to eat meat, cheese, and eggs. Are you okay with that? What kind of bread could I get you? What kind of milk do you like? It's so amazing. They're really accommodating and amazing.
That's interesting.
There was an episode in season, might have been 4, where Abigail starts to sell chocolates.
Oh, yeah.
I had to eat these chocolates, chocolate after chocolate after chocolate after chocolate. And I thought I was going to be really smart ahead of time and say, I think it's not cool that I eat so many chocolates. So what if we come up with something that looks like a chocolate, but is healthy? So we got these banana brownies. their banana and dates turned into what looks like a
brownie. Oh no.
Then they fashioned them into these chocolates for me, and worst decision I ever made, hands down, in my life ever. After 35 of those.
Oh my gosh. It was because the dates, they'll get things going.
It was terrible.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Serves you right for messing with chocolate. I mean, come on.
So true. I don't know what I was thinking.
That's funny. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. They're the good folks over at Skylight Frames. And right now, everyone's looking for the perfect Mother's Day gift. And it can be really hard to find the perfect gift for our moms, something that will be meaningful, but there's something they don't already have. It can be very difficult. And I recently was able to get my parents a Skylight Frame, and it was such a fun gift for them because it not only looks nice and is, a thoughtful gift, but it also helps them to connect with their family members and gets to see the photos of their family with greater ease. And so it's a really nice product. It's a digital frame where people can email you their photos, so they don't even have to download them or upload them onto the frame like a traditional digital frame. They can send the photos directly to your frame, so they could be out hiking or doing some activity and just with their phones upload it right to the frame and you can see it, which is really cool. The frame sets up in under 60 seconds. It has a very easy to use touch screen that allows you to connect with your wireless network, and it's an effortless system to send the photos from your family, and it just makes things very, very easy to stay in touch. It's a black frame that looks like a real photo. You can't even tell the difference between your other photos, your framed artwork, and it has a 10-inch screen. You can swipe through photos with your finger, and it has 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you don't love Skylight, they will offer you a full refund. Now, as a special holiday offer, you can get $10 off your purchase of a Skylight Frame when you go to skylightframe.com/Hallmark and enter code Hallmark. So this is a great thing that you can get for Mother's Day for your mom. And that's $10 off your purchase of Skylight Frame. Just go to skylightframe.com/Hallmark and enter code Hallmark. That's Skylight Frame, SKYLIGHTFRAME.com/Hallmark. One of the other controversial moments of season 5 was, do you remember the whole episode where there's the bid on the date, and Adam wins the date, but it's like secret that you don't know, you think it's somebody else, and you're cooking, and it turns out that we thought it was pretty underhanded of him to expect to end up having his date make the whole meal. Do you think that he breached dating protocol in that scene? You really shouldn't expect your date to cook for you, right?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I didn't even think of it. That's really funny. Well, it's date night tonight at my house. Yeah. And my husband, another thing we've done in quarantine is make puzzles. Like, I can't stop making puzzles. And so we had to clear the table of the puzzle today because he said it's date night. And I said, well, what's going to be date night? And he said, well, dinner. So he expected me to make it.
You'd be like, don't make the same mistake as Adam.
Yeah, right?
That's funny. You think date night would be puzzles.
Yeah, right? He's in this house listening somewhere, so maybe it will be now. Yeah. He's yelling lies.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, so we were like, what does this guy think he is? He's making her make the meal for the date. It was outrageous. So now that we've joked a lot, tell us, sell us on Adam. What do you think aside from being, a likable actor and everything that's playing him and everything, but what do you think selling points of Adam?
I think he's, well, this is the first I've heard that people are like not on the Adam side. So I feel because he's a chaplain and he's his moral compass is set in the right direction. I think that people trust him. He's easily trustable, and he's genuine. I mean, he's a doctor. He's not a doctor, but he's always at the hospital with the doctors, so he has that like level of trust there. And I don't know. I just think and I will say, aside, which you brought up, I mean, Scott, who plays him, is just the loveliest of humans. So
that helps.
Yeah, and I also think the chemistry between Adam and Stephanie was pretty evident, like really, really quickly, which is probably why the writers went in that direction.
Yeah.
When you see that on screen or when you see that on set, it's probably easier to write in that direction than in another direction. Yeah. But I don't know. Adam as a character, I will say, once you see this season, you might not like him.
Oh no! I was gonna ask you what season 6. So this is gonna be very fun to podcast about. We're really excited.
I don't know. Whether you're gonna love what he does or whether you're gonna be like, I can't believe he's doing more of what I don't like.
Well, I mean, and I don't know if the Hallmark fandom in general doesn't like Adam or if it's just us weird on the podcast. So I wouldn't be willing to make that claim. but yeah, so that's going to be intriguing. We'll have to talk to you post-season to see how we think.
Yeah, you'll have to watch with an open mind.
Okay, we always do. We will.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting to check back in.
Okay, well, so you have a new cast member played by Kat Burrell, and how does that, having 3 Catherines on the set at the same time?
Yeah, it's crazy. So I mean, we really do. Catherine Disher, we usually call her Dish anyway.
Okay.
Disher. And Catherine Bell, mostly on set, people will just call her CB.
Okay.
And now Kat Burrell, again, it's KB, but we just call her Kat. So okay. Yeah, it's Disher's also Kathy. There's different names for everybody.
So just like you over there.
You're never confused.
Yeah. But was that fun having some new blood into the casting?
Yeah, it's
for
lovely.
The women at least.
It's great, and I mean, it's such a female-centric show, and there's this one scene this season that just when you see it, the day it happened, it was all of us, just the core females walking through this door together, and somebody had boomeranged it for fun as we went in, and when we all watched it back, we all just went, oh, like we just got teary. Like it was just so cool to see these like super strong, amazing women just like powering through this door, and it was so awesome. It's really great to have Kat on set and just like all of these amazing women.
That's great. Well, we're really intrigued. I think there's going to be some interesting dynamic between her and Martha and Catherine Disher. It seems like her decorating or something like that. It looks like so that will be fun. And I think that it looks like her and Abigail are going to have some stuff. So I'm excited for that. And I don't know. I can take this out if it's not allowed. Is Nick not on this season? Is he just in the first episode?
Yeah, so he's not in it as
okay.
well.
Yeah, I it looked like away from the IMDb, but you can never tell 100% from IMDb. So that's too bad. It's nice to have that younger dynamic, but I can see why switching to a sort of a new, with Grace gone, kind of switching dynamics. But it's going to be interesting for Sam. I feel like so many of his plots were in and around Nick.
Yeah. And that's not to say he won't be back and he won't be there in some capacity, but yeah, he was very limited in yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so what would you say that you liked the most about season 6? I know you can't give any spoilers or anything like that. We wouldn't want it, but just about season 6 in general, what was your favorite part?
I would say there's a couple of cool things. Like one is what does sort of happen with Adam and Stephanie. I feel like Stephanie has finally decided to maybe realize like what's good for her as opposed to good for everybody else.
Yeah.
I liked exploring that dynamic this season. That felt really good. And I got to, I had a surprise visitor from the past who was a big part of my life, pays me a visit in town. That's a really special couple of episodes for me personally, and shooting those, which you'll find out, and it's pretty fun and amazing. And also Stephanie got to show a hidden talent this season. Her and Sam get to show their chops a little bit in one of the episodes. So
yeah, her and Sam.
Lots to look forward to.
Yeah, that's very exciting. Yeah. I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with Sam this season because, like I said, without Nick, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be an interesting dynamic because you can only, like, now that they're married, there's like, where do you get conflict there between him and Cassie? And if Nick's gone, that removes conflict. So it's like, what are they going to do with these, particularly with Sam? Because Cassie, she can always be meddling with people and trying to set people up and stuff. So you can find enough for her to do. But I don't know. I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with Sam this season. So that'll be fun. That's very intriguing. And so, well, very good. We're excited for the new season. I mean, it feels like everything new that we're getting, because it's almost feels more special because it's like, oh, it's in quarantine. Oh, we're getting new Good Witch. Yay.
No, it's like it gives somebody something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And I know. I'm excited to see it. I feel like it was 20 years ago that I shot it. So.
It was last summer, right? Or last fall?
We stopped shooting in December, so
okay, yeah.
It wasn't that long ago, but just the last few months seemed like 10 years.
Oh my gosh, it does. I mean, we've been in quarantine for basically 2 months, and it feels so much longer than that. It's crazy.
I know.
Yeah. Oh wow. Well, so
it will end soon.
Yes. I know, we're ready. I mean, of course, you have to do what's safe and what everybody, the scientists and the people who know what they're talking about, recommend. But ready for it to be done for sure. So last time you were what's that?
I think people just want their hair done.
I know.
That's all I keep hearing.
I know. Well, and they're like, you get your hair done at social distance. I'm like, what does that even mean? I don't understand. Like, are you getting your hair cut with garden shears or something? Like, what? Oh, yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy time. Well, so your first time I think did the regular Team B questions with you to close off the interview. Now, the only other one we have is the holiday version of the Team B questions. So these are all Christmas themed, but it'll be fun. Why not?
Okay, cool.
So first question is, what is your favorite holiday drink?
Oh, holiday drink. I have to say, I really like when like a peppermint mocha thing comes back. Like I love the minty, chocolatey beverages. I'm gonna say that's my favorite hot beverage.
That's a good choice. Okay, what is your favorite holiday cookie or treat?
Gosh, these are hard, but I love shortbread. My grandmother always made, she called them Scotch cookies, because I guess in Nova Scotia we're British. We come from the British side of things. And she just iced them so with this little silver dot candy on top. And so that reminds me of Christmas the most.
So what is your favorite Christmas song or carol?
Oh, Holy Night.
It's a good one. It's a tough one.
It is. I sang it in church almost every year.
Oh, wow.
And
yeah. Beautiful. I kind of dread it in Christmas movies just because so many people sing it who don't have the pipes to sing it.
Gotcha.
And then it's like, like if you just picked a more simple song, you would have done great, but you picked that song. But anyway, it's a really beautiful song. The next question is, what's your favorite classic Christmas movie?
Oh, I love the Rudolph film. Like, yeah. But like that is just, this just screams like classic Christmas to me.
Very good. Okay. What is a holiday tradition that you love? Like setting up the tree or any, anything like that?
Yeah, my tree is very dear to me. I don't know if it's a tradition because no one else is allowed to touch it. It's a tradition from all of my own.
Yeah.
But I do. I put on the Peanuts Christmas album and it just plays on loop while I decorate my tree. So.
I'm all for traditions of one. Yeah. If they didn't count, I'd have no traditions at all.
Right? That's perfect.
So what's a memorable Christmas gift you've either given or received? Like, did you have your Red Ryder BB gun moment as a kid?
I had a lot of those moments. I feel like my mom was such an incredible gift giver that, it was just an endless wonderland of surprises for me growing up. It was really phenomenal. But, I will say this Christmas, I got a beautiful surprise. My husband had a ring made for me.
Aww.
With my birthstone, and I had always wanted an emerald ring, and he I don't know how, he must have gone through my phone, like photos that I had and he basically had the exact replica of the ring made for me, and it was just so special and beautiful.
That's beautiful. That's great. Yeah. All right, who's your favorite, Scrooge or the Grinch?
The Grinch.
Okay. Clear lights or colored?
Oh, clear.
Okay. Would you rather be in a snowball fight or build a snowman?
Build a snowman.
Would you consider yourself a good gift wrapper or not?
Amazing.
Amazing.
Top notch, 10 out of 10. Bordering on obsessive.
All right, last question. Do you have an ugly Christmas sweater? And what does it look like?
Yeah. I feel like we have a few.
Being up there in Toronto, you should have lots of sweaters.
Well, that's it. I'm in Toronto. I'm wearing like a wool sweater today. It's still freezing here. There's a lot of ugly Christmas sweaters kicking around here.
And what's the ugliest you've ever worn?
Oh man, I have one with a giant stocking on the front, and then the stuff coming out of the stocking is all like life size, like a bear and like a real thing coming out, and then there's like a little jingle bell on the end of the toe. That one's pretty hideous.
Yeah.
I would say that's my most hideous, and then everybody can hear you coming, so can't miss you.
Yeah. I forgot to ask you, going off, not unrelated, but I forgot to ask in the Christmas movie, in the Halloween movie, with this pumpkin carving record that you guys did. That was quite the feat. Did you?
Yeah, it was, especially, you know, I think we shot that in August, so pumpkins weren't really ready yet.
Right.
So the set deck was insane, and for them to source those pumpkins, I don't know how it happened. I don't know how it happened.
Yeah.
And then the pumpkin boat race.
Yeah.
Those are real. Like, they were in those things. Like, it was epic.
Yeah. Was it when you shot that in August, you said then?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that must have been gross to get into those pumpkins.
It was, I think, it was so fun to watch them.
Yeah.
I mean, they looked like they were having a blast.
James Denton is like, what is going on with my career? Why am I in a pumpkin?
It was, I'm sure, but you know, it was just like the hottest 2 weeks of life, and we were in these like wool sweaters and like period costumes, and it was, you know, disgustingly hot. Yeah, that was a memory right there.
That was a memory. Very good. All right, well, we're excited for the new season. Thank you so much for coming and talking with us and being a good sport about it, about our Adam questions. So we're looking forward to seeing what happens, especially that intrigue that you left about the new season. And so thanks so much. We really appreciate you coming on and talking with us.
Thanks for having me, and stay well and stay happy and healthy and home. Stay home.
A little bit longer. We made it this far. We got to push on through. But how can people follow you on social media and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and it's at Kylee Evans here, because I'm here. Me.
Great. I'll have all that in the description section. Everybody should follow Kylee. Super fun. And you can follow me at Rachel's Reviews, all of our social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check that out. And also you can follow the podcast at Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast, all of our social media, iTunes, YouTube. And if you're listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. And if you are listening and watching on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that so much. We also have our Patreon group, and we have our merch store, which has Good Witch merch, so check that out. So thanks so much, Kylee. This was really fun, and we will definitely keep in touch throughout the season, and I hope you make many yummy sandwiches after this.
Awesome.
Okay, bye.
Bye, thanks.
All right, we got it.